Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the Creating Your Sanctuary podcast. And this is a podcast about creating those little moments and space that support you. And today I wanted to talk about giving yourself credit. So I think it's a little like celebrating yourself, but it's also acknowledging yourself. There's a lot that we accomplish every day, even when you feel like you're taking a time out. Maybe you're laying on the couch today and just taking a break and not doing much. But there's so much that is done in healing and rest and giving your brain a chance to wander, to think about new ideas, to think about things from another perspective, to think about maybe things that have been associated with shame or guilt and find a resolution there that, maybe not all the way, but enough to acknowledge, hey, I did my best at that time with the information I had and the mental capacity and the physical capacity that I could, and that was enough. And that's why I actually do say that at the end of all of these podcasts, because you are enough and what you're doing is enough. And sometimes the little steps of progress are enough. And sometimes you have to have a really busy day and you are getting a lot of stuff done. But then there's those little moments where you're like, I don't know quite what I need to do here. I need to wait until the next day. And when you do, and you actually solve that little problem, that there's this little thing still kind of hanging out and that you just couldn't quite solve, but that night of rest or even that day of rest brings a new perspective and you're like, oh, wait, now I got it. How many moments of those have you had recently? How many things have you ticked off your to-do list? How many times have you been super supportive to your friends and family and colleagues? How much progress and movement have you been making? Can you look back? Can you take a moment right now and pause and look back? Because sometimes it all feels invisible. It all feels like, especially if it's a lot of mental work and you're trying to sort things out. I know when I'm being super creative and trying to figure out, okay, what should this website look like? What should this client be doing that could really help their next steps? What could I be creating on my channel? What could I be saying to my podcast here? It takes a lot of quiet moments and a lot of walks around town and taking photographs and doing things in other mediums to come back and go, okay, now I'm inspired even more. But a lot of that can be invisible. You're just walking around, but there's so much going on in your brain. And you're taking mental leaps that sometimes can't even be captured in a planner. So always remember that your baseline is very different from everyone else's. Remove the shoulds, remove the, well, if they can do it, I can do it. I actually hate that term because so many people say it in videos of like, well, if I can do it, you can do it. I do believe that there is a common ground of a lot of people succeeding in things together as a group that everyone can process through things. But to say that it's easy, to say that your process is the same as somebody else's process is not true. Just with, how I learned how to do the immigration process here in the Netherlands, there are so many people who are like, well, you can do it this way or this way and this way. And that's so true. There's so many different ways. And sometimes those ways work better than others because they work better for you and your way of doing things is the best for you. Even when you look at things where it took a lot more energy and time, that's information that you can kind of reflect back on of like, oh, maybe I need to allow more time for myself to process paperwork. Maybe I need more time for myself to walk from this place to that place. Maybe I need more time for myself to consider how to put this project together. And so it's never a failure. It's actually like compost for the next project or the next thing that you do. So remember, there's always something that you can give yourself credit for. Even on those hardest days, there's always accomplishments that you've done. Even if it's just sitting around and just being you and taking it all in and doing what makes you happy and trying to find those little moments of joy. Remember that those things are important. So remember, however you're creating your sanctuary and those little moments that you give yourself credit for, it's enough. I'll see you next time.